Yeah. Want to welcome everybody to Tales from the Jails Live. We here live in Parliament, you would say. Let's give everybody a minute to kind of, tune in today. I just want to say what's up to everybody, how everybody doing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to the Muslims who are tuning in. Inshallah, everybody has a blessed day. I know a lot of people probably at work or your day off, might be in the gym, working out, whatever you're doing. We appreciate you for tuning in, whether it's 1 or 1,000 people that's tuning in. We just want to kind of give a message to everybody. Before we start, I just want to say, something to the people just as motivation. You're only going to get out of life or out of your business or out of whatever you're doing, whatever you put into it. And it doesn't always mean financially, because the person, you can have everything financially, you can be buying everything financially, but if you don't put the work in and be consistent in your job or your work, whatever you got going on, you're never going to be successful unless Allah decree that for you. But it's very seldom that you see people be successful at anything if they don't have their priorities of business or on life in order. If your whole situation, your life is in shambles, your business is in shambles, you got to regroup and get yourself together and really focus on what's important. And firstly, starting with, your Lord. Get in touch with your Lord, because everything comes from God, in my opinion, from what I believe. And then after that, you got to put the work in. And you put the work in, you can be successful. And ask me how I know. So let's get it. That's just what I had to say today to everybody. But I just want to give maybe another minute or so for everybody to get into, to tap in. What's going on? Justin Porter, what's up? Feed the people. What's going on to everybody? World Peace Matters 2020. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. So we want to keep it going. So, probably give another minute or so. One more thing I want to say, if I could, for me, I think that in life, everybody goes through things. Everybody has their ups and downs, their trials and tribulations in life. Everybody has things that they're going through. But it's not for the person to think that, they're going through a greater hardship than someone else. You may look at someone, you may be in a situation where you don't have a car, but it might be a person who has a car that's driving around getting to work, and you got to go on the bus, get Ubers and so forth and so on. You may not have a car, but that person who has a car may not have the trials and tribulations, the trials that you have. Maybe that person who has a car isn't healthy. Maybe he's sick. Maybe he's ill. Maybe he just lost a child. So sometimes we can look at things, and not look at things in the right manner. Sometimes people are going through things worse than you. You just never know. A person may be homeless. This person may have a house. But the person who has a house may have, situations where, their kids are ill, their mother just passed, and so forth and so on. You may be homeless, but you may be surviving. But don't ever look at your situation as bad. Always, put your best foot forward and stop making excuses. That's the problem with people who make a lot of excuses for what we don't have and what we can't get or what's going on. Just be, content with whatever you have and continue to work hard, and you'll be able to obtain your goals if that's written for you. We had 8 people. Eight people. I appreciate that. No fronting. Allowed 32. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that from you. So, you want to jump into this, Young? What we going to do?
Yeah.
We can jump into it. We don't want to make it like we just, being, I don't know if I'm saying like catty, the right word. If that's the right word, being catty, speaking about other people's businesses, because we see a lot of podcasts who just in everybody's business. We're not in everybody's business, and I don't want to get in everybody's business. By Allah, if I feel like I'm being too catty or I'm doing some things that I shouldn't be doing, I'll be stepping away from Tales from the Jails for me. So I don't ever want to be catty. I never want to be a person that's just, trying to trend and be like everybody else, because I don't feel like, that's the right way to be. I'm not here for the honey. Now, we got Derrick Groves. Derrick Groves, he was just, apprehended and caught. He was just on the run, I believe, 5 months, 6 months or so.
Yeah, something like that of that nature.
Yeah, he was on the run for maybe 5 or 6 months, and he escaped. He had a murder charge, some things going on, whereas though he was already sentenced, I believe, or about to be sentenced for his crimes. So he decided to escape. Him and a bunch of other guys, all of them were captured. He was the last one that was on the run. For his freedom, and this me just speaking, if I was in his situation, I would probably did the same thing. Honestly, because I understand the hardships of prison. I never did any hard time myself personally, but I understand the hardships of prison. I understand that prison can be, depressing, oppressive situation, which can ultimately lead you to, wanting to be free, and you're willing to take any opportunity to be free. So when that door opened up or whatever opened up for him to run out that door, he took the opportunity and ran. Now the thing is with running and being on the run and anything, I know there's people that I know friends that have been on the run, people I know that ran from the police. A lot of times the most difficult part of being on the run is not being able to have the proper financial support. You out here in the world, you can't trust nobody. It's a person, not only will they not support you financially, you're on the run because you can't get a job, it's a lot of things you can't do. Then also you gotta be careful who you be around, friends, because they offering these rewards for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it'd be your right hand man or somebody that's riding with you who'll go and tell them where you at. So it's a real tough situation, and you see, people. What's her name?
Asada Shakur. But before you
go ahead.
move on, I just want to elaborate on
lawyer Mike down a little bit, young. So like I need to. Yeah.
I just want to elaborate on what you just said a little bit, to back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When you referred to if you were in a predicament and the opportunity presented itself, you would.
Yes, I would.
Okay, now with that being said, it has to come under one circumstance for me. I had to clean that up a little bit. If I got 5 years, I got a year in.
You're right.
And that door open, and the guys is running out, and I see it, I might shut the door. I might shut that motherfucker, but like, hold up, yeah, I was shutting the door. I'm gonna kick that joint closed. I got even 10 years. I got a year in. I don't think it's worth the punishment that comes with that. So, but if I was facing life or like Groves was locked up for, so yeah, I was the first one out. You know what I mean? And I might have shut it behind me because I don't want nobody tipping on me. You know what I'm saying? But it gotta be, it's levels to me getting up out this jump. It's levels. So go ahead though, Tawfiq. Like, but Asada Shakur.
She was different. So, she murdered a police officer in Jersey, but she fled the country.
Exactly.
And she recently passed away, right?
Yes. This is probably within the last week or so.
Yeah, but the thing is,
but hold up, she passed away peacefully.
Yeah.
Not violently, not shot in the head, not robbed and beat and battered and captured and died in a prison cell. She passed away in her bed, sleeping peacefully, old age.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, to piggyback off of what you were saying, Feek, not to take the momentum from you, but you got to have a plan. Even though I know you want to get out there and be free because you're facing a life sentence, but that man was caught. He escaped down south and got caught down south.
But the thing is this, the opportunities probably just presented itself and then it just came about. And you better have a plan. My only plan is just to run out this door right now. I'm just gonna get out here and I'm just gonna.
But it still has to come to where though you gotta play because that ain't the end part.
But
they on your line. You are a convicted murderer.
I was surprised he did it.
6 months. He was smart. They was putting him all out there saying he's very smart. He's finesseful. He's charming. They was giving him all these good qualities of how he was eluding the police officials, and he was doing good. But where it wasn't good, you will need support for that. That's not just gonna come from him. It's only so long you can hold up hiding from house to house, especially in the same area that you escaped from. You got we mentioned Asada Shakur because they had when they came and broke her out of prison, it was a whole plan before they even went and got her.
Okay. So that's different.
Yeah, that's very different.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, because the doors ain't just bust open for them either. They was working at holes in the wall or whatever, how they got out of there. That wasn't no one-day process.
Yeah. They've
been working on that for months. It ain't just any jail in America. You just not gonna walk up to a door and get right out.
Like for example, like if you let's say if you was in prison, right? And you broke out, right?
Right.
And I know you was facing, you had life in prison. and you call me like, yo, just call me like, yo, I'm out. The first thing I'm thinking is to get you out of the country. That's gonna be my first thing to do, because I understand that, at some point, if you stick around here too long in the United States, someone's gonna catch you. You're gonna be caught.
Yeah.
So me thinking, I'm like, yo, whatever I gotta spend to get you out of this country, I'm gonna spend it, because now you out of the way. You going.
Exactly.
They gotta go far away.
Especially
to
to a country she went to where there's no expedition law.
But everybody don't have them resources. He may have only had a friend that can send him to Atlanta.
That's it. And he might not even had a friend to send him. He might have made it there himself.
Exactly. But he was living in the house or whatever he was doing. But I'm pretty sure he had some type of help or whatever he had. Whatever.
My whole thing is, I hope he enjoyed them 6 months. I really hope he enjoyed them 6 months. Hopefully, probably even made a baby or so. Even though that probably put a toll on his weight, because he's from what I know about prison life, his ass is through. He's all the way through. They caught him again. He's going to a facility where that would never happen again in his wildest dreams. The only time he's leaving there is when he go to sleep, and he's dreaming about some outside fries and stuff. But he is to the good right now. And when I say the good, and I ain't talking about good like happy. No, he's hit to the good.
Yeah. Another thing too, I want to pause a quick second. I want to say something. So we need help, right? We need a little bit of help. Because we want to be as consistent as possible with the live show. So we want to get some, just some feedback from the audience about what do y'all think it's a good time for us to go live every day. We trying to figure out the best time, and we want to stick to our core audience and everybody who listen, and just kind of give us the time where as though y'all think, just give us y'all opinion. What y'all think we should go live at this time, certain time, and what do y'all think? Because we really appreciate the support that everyone is giving us. We just want to kind of get your opinion. So comment, leave your opinion, and we'll definitely take it into consideration. Now with her, man, with Ms. Shakur, she got up out of here, but at the time, it might have been easier to get out of the country at that time. But they had a plan. But it was probably easier for her because everybody was on the same plan and getting her out of here. It
wasn't technology as it is now.
But it was calculated. It still was a calculated
risk,
prison break to get her out of there. Now we know we're taking her out.
And they still was on her line. It's just that it wasn't high tech as it is now. But still, they still didn't catch her. Why was high tech now? So you say, all right, break it out. They both broke out. Mm-hmm. Okay, one is in an advanced more society, and one wasn't in as advanced society. Mm-hmm. But still, in all, she just died a week ago. Yeah. She been on the run in this advanced society. They still ain't get her. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? She still sat over there. She still died a peaceful death. I'm not saying that this is okay to do and break out. And no, I'm not saying that. If you were to do it, you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan, and she carried that plan out, her and her peoples, whoever came, because she was in there, and they came and got her out of there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about from the beginning to the end, the plan was executed in perfect form and fashion, as you can see the end of her chapter.
Now, Mr. Groves, he is now going to be sent to a prison, like you said, whereas though he may not even see daylight.
Yeah.
He may not even have a window in his cell.
Yeah.
Now
he will be in solitary confinement for years. Years.
They're going to try to break him.
It's not even try to break you. It's just like, this is the punishment that you deserve, because the top punishment in the world is what? The death penalty. Okay, after that is prison for the rest of your life, and after that is the whole. Because what type of punishment can you give me when I'm already in jail? Mm-hmm. Okay, so to further enhance your punishment is to put you in confined spaces while you are in this hellhole.
Yeah. So, but for him though, it seemed like I don't know what he was doing when he was out. I don't know if he was still out here robbing, stealing. I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that. But he just showed everybody that he's want to be free.
Yeah,
I want to be out of here. I don't want to live a life of crime. From I just want to get out of this oppression.
Yeah,
because it's just. The jail situations, and I think was that a county jail he was in, or was that that was a county, right?
I think it was a county jail in New Orleans.
Yeah, so he just showed everybody like prison ain't the place to be. Nobody wants to be there.
Nobody.
It was even guys that escaped with him that didn't even have that much time.
Yeah, it was dudes. I wasn't doing that. If I'd have walked past that door, like I said, I'd have kicked his shit. If I had 5 or 10 years, I'm not running out that door. I ain't got no plan. I'm just going out there to get some temporary cheeks, eat me a nice couple pieces of chicken. What I'm going out there for? I could wait on that. Because now you're going to have problems compiled on top of problems. It's not that deep. No, I'd have walked past that door and kicked that jump shut and kept it going to myself. Now, like I said, if I had life, though, I'd have still ran, but I ain't got no plan still either.
I'm asking you a question. Would you go over to, like, you know, if you broke out and you was able to go to a third world country, really you got to you got to walk a mile to get some water. You're free, but
you got to tell me my circumstance. Am I facing life or am I facing 10 years?
You got life. You got the same charges.
I'm in that third world country.
You over there walking a mile to get water.
Yes. I'm doing it happily too.
Living out there in the wilderness.
Yes, I got me a wilderness old lady. She's showing me the ropes of it. We having kids. We having natural birth. They taught me how to cut the joint and all that out there. I'm out there. I would do that than sit in somebody's penitentiary over here for the rest of my life. Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, I'm pretty much cool. I could,
But you got to cut off everybody that's over here.
I'm cutting you off.
You can't call back. You can't do nothing. You can't call mom.
I get with you.
You can't call. You know what I mean? You can't call me. We can't kick it no more.
Listen.
Can't talk about nothing no more.
I get with you.
It's like I gotta give you some cash, and that's like, it's the last handshake I've ever seen.
I get you. Thank you, man. Look out. Make sure you hit me, man, because this is the last one. That's it. Make sure you fatten this joint up because it's the last one. Ain't like you could double back 2 months from there. Like, hey, go fatten this joint up, man. Send me on my way, man.
Dude, you mean fatten your pockets up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's be clear. So we hit your pockets, send you up out of here. Last handshake. Last time I'm gonna see you, you going off to Zimbabwe somewhere.
Wherever it is, Zimbabwe, I'm there. I'm representing black out there.
Yeah.
Raheem is out here in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, me too. I would take that any day because I feel like, freedom is priceless. You can't put no type of, I'll say, safety and freedom or freedom and then safety, however you want to put it. You can never put a number on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now, him going back to the prison system, going back in as a prisoner, how are the inmates checking him out? What do you think the inmates are saying about him coming back like that?
Man, they inmates take that as a loss. That's a personal loss. When he escaped, when all the men escaped, it was a men got out of here. Some men, damn, I wish I missed my bus. They want to be there when that door opened up too. You know what I'm saying? Now that he's captured, the thing is with the convicts, man, what you do while he was out there? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody calling him a fool. Everybody probably in their head is only a matter of time before they catch him. I'm quite sure that nobody thought he was going to run forever. You thought he was going forever?
I was hoping that because for me, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta kick some of my old traits. Like sometimes I be rooting for the bad guy.
Okay, but
not saying he's a bad person. I was hoping that part of me was hoping that he didn't get caught.
Then with that being said, you was hoping, but what did you think?
But I knew, what I did know.
There was no doubt in my mind.
Let me answer. Can I answer the question?
Go ahead.
All right, but I knew there's certain things. If he didn't have certain things, he was gonna get caught. It's for one his money, and if he's still lingering, hanging around the United States, because now you got the National Guard, the FBI, you got all these resources, and they waving money in people's faces who are broke or don't have any. If you even look like him, they calling the police because everybody wanted to get that money, and it's unanimous. Unanimous. Whereas though you can't, they're not even gonna tell who told on you. They don't care if it was your brother. Mm-hmm. He's never gonna know who told him, who said where he was at.
Yeah.
So you got all this stuff stacked up against you, and you on a run in America. Mm-hmm. There's nowhere you can hide, nowhere you can go. People going, even out here in Kensington, wherever you at in the city, the police are still walking up on people, looking at them, checking on them, looking at their face, asking for ID, whatever. So there's nowhere you really can go in America. You got to get up out of here. Mm-hmm. So a part of me was hoping that he could run forever, but I know that's not always the case.
No, I was hoping too, but that was wishful thinking. I absolutely knew that he was not going. Remember, I kept saying he'd be caught by this Friday. When it first happened,
Yeah.
or they have him by Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But he was beating the odds.
Yeah.
But there was no doubt in my mind that not that I wanted them to catch him, because I was rooting for him too. Like, damn, as long as he ain't out here and he committing further crimes and stuff like that in the neighborhoods that he's trying to elude police capture at, and he's just trying to make it because he don't want to go through this oppression. I'm like, well, man, shoot, do the best you can. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, he going to jail, man.
Listen, y'all can comment, tell us what y'all think. Let's get into the chat, man. You know, let's tell us what y'all think, man. We can answer some questions about it, or we can feed off y'all. So, but we gonna talk a little bit more while y'all figure that out. Now, he gets caught in Atlanta. What about the person who house that he was in? What do you think what happened to them?
Oh, they going to jail too. Harboring a fugitive. They throwing this up on the TV every day, especially in them areas where it happened at.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans getting them pictures every day. Atlanta. Getting them, they be looking for Mr. Derrick Groves. If you've seen or heard or got a snippet about this man, please contact law enforcement. So now whoever crib they catch him in, that ain't the end. It's the other shoe ready fall down. Now we gonna see probably today or tomorrow or the following week who was the resident owner of that house, because we need to get with you. Yeah, that's harboring a fugitive. That's a charge.
What is that charge like? What is that?
Well, I don't know what it holds or what's the guideline range.
Is it federal?
No, I think that's state. That's state.
Do you think
they can probably make it federal? I don't know, but I'm hearing every time I hear about a person harboring is always state.
Mm.
But you know, feds can do what they want. They can come there and indict a ham sandwich. That's the going joint in the feds. The feds indict a ham sandwich and make it stick. They indict anything.
Mm.
They ain't tripping about nothing that they come and put an indictment on.
Let me ask you a question. If I was on the run,
Right.
and you had a crib,
Right.
can I come stay there with you?
With me? Now, what I would do is
No. The question is, can I come and stay with you? I'm Derrick Groves up there running. I'm like, yo, I got nowhere to go. I'm coming in there. Nobody know I'm here. I'm here, bro. Like, I'm coming here.
I'm gonna give you a week.
A week? I'm your man, though.
Yeah, but you my man. But we gonna figure. We gonna get. No, I'm not gonna kick you out of the week and let you figure. You have to have other residents of the week. You have to, because
what if I don't, though?
Well, if you don't, then we gonna ride around. We gonna stay in motherfucking U-Haul deposit or join storages and shit like that. We gonna put you on a little. You can't stay here.
Why?
Because you can't.
I'm getting you locked up now?
Yeah, I'm going to jail. So I got my kids in here. I got my woman in here. I love you. So we gonna figure it out. I'm not gonna say after this week is over, you got to go ahead, Ben. No, we still figuring it out, but you can't. You've been here too long.
But I get a week, though.
No, see, you definitely got 7-ball Jamal.
Not 2 weeks?
No, you ain't got no deuce ball. Because each day that go past is more of a chance that you getting figured out from being in there. Even though you ain't gonna be going in and out. You're not running in and out that door. You're staying in that basement the whole week.
I can't walk to the...
You can never walk to that store. Ever. Not in this residence. The whole world looking for you. For the United States, well, you're not staying in here over a week. And that's just it.
So we got some questions in there. It says, do people really get that reward money? So we got to, let me see, who said that? James the Flame, he said, do people really get that reward money when it leads to an arrest? I be hearing they be trying to do anything in their power to not to release the funds.
Well, they trick people, right?
You got money before for that?
No, who, me? No, that's telling. No, I might not never get no money for that. But this is it's tricky. I'm gonna give it to y'all. People go off of just because you got that person, catcher, whoever took this, called the number and was like, yo, I know where such and such is at. The person that y'all looking for, he or she is at such and such location, and you go there, he's usually at this such and such time. Okay, boom. They go in there, they get such and such. They follow your tip, they go do it. Then you sitting back, you got your palms out. You teeth and palms, you waiting to get rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you don't get paid off the capture. Now, in Derrick Groves' case, whoever told where he at, they're going to get paid because he was already sentenced.
Yeah.
Now, in stuff like, say if they looking for me for murder, they look at, we got $20,000 for Brahim Jackson, man, pine catcher, whoever give us tip to it. It's not just a pine catcher, it's a pine catcher and conviction. That's when the $20,000 will be paid out. I have to get convicted. And if they catch me and I go and beat that, that's how the cops get out of it. We ain't got to give you a man. They said he did it, so we had to go find him. So they got a leg to lead on. But upon conviction, that's when you would get paid out.
The crazy thing about it is, man, it be the person that's riding around with you in the car, because you don't even have to disclose who told. Excuse me. You don't have to even disclose who told. It's just like it could be anybody.
Yeah.
And money is man, root of all evil. People, well, as we've seen, people got their heads blown off by their friends, you know, about money, whatever the case may be. So if you want to run, you can't go see everybody. You got to find one person that you trust. But even with that, it's still like, if he hurting on his pockets, he might say, "Look, man, I'm gonna get you to the store. It's been as U-Haul store. It's been, and then I'm gonna go call the authorities and tell them that you hiding out in there. But you got, you know, I would never believe that you would do something like that to me, young.
No, I would never do that to you.
I would never believe that.
No, yeah. You would never have to believe that, because I would never do no stuff like that. To not just to you, to any man.
You Buckeye. I don't think that it'll, you know. If I just think two guys off the top of my head, you Bucks, you know, and Chew, people like that. I would, but it would be real hard for me to think about anybody else that I'll probably be, not saying they would, but I'll be really questioning them about what they into, as far as, on that phone calling them authorities on me. Now, the other thing with Mr. Groves, right? You said you see they captured him. He was in Atlanta. Now, does he go does he get shipped all the way back to New Orleans, or do they like house him there in Atlanta?
What happened to him?
Groves, will he get shipped back to New Orleans?
He should go back to there, but they probably house him in another. He's not going to be in that jail that he ran from.
Is he federal? Is it federal now?
I think it's just a state escape. He wasn't federal from the drive.
But he crossed state lines though, so that escape would be considered federal?
No. I don't. That right there is tricky. I don't know about, but they're going to take him back to the state. I don't think he got a federal case. He escaped, and they're going to give him a federal case, and so he's going to have two cases. He's going to have a state case and a federal case now because of his escape. I think they're just going to add more time to that, towards whatever he was carrying out, and put him in a secure institution where he won't have to do this again.
Oh man, we got a question. James LaFlame, he said, "Do you think there's any way ever for a known and confirmed rat to redeem themselves to their peers in the community?"
Absolutely not. There's no way you can make up for that. Once you do that, you tarnish your name for the rest of your entire life. After you do that, you might as well become a law-abiding citizen. That's it. Ain't nobody gonna respect you by you going back out there selling good dope, busting heads. It's a bunch of tough rats. Don't nobody got respect for them. Once you portray yourself as a man and something comes out on you that you're getting head or you're getting butt from the same sex, them two things, no one would ever like fully respect you as a cold-blooded man ever again in your life.
Wow. Yeah.
I know I won't anyway. And there's a lot of men that take this same stance that I take.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, we know people that told, and sometimes people that tell or have told are actually good men in the aspect of, they may have some good traits, I should say. But it's just that when you tell or you snitch on somebody, get somebody a lot of time or whatever the case may be, telling the case, it's hard for people to really, look past that. It's just the nature of, I just feel like if a person does that, they just don't care. Especially the worst kind of person, the worst rat is the one who's involved in a case.
Yeah, that's the only type of rat that is a rat.
No, it ain't. It's people that's not involved in the case and tell on other people's cases. Like he'll tell, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but yeah.
That's
yeah.
It. So for me, I'm saying the person, if I'm involved in the case, right, and we all, me and you go commit a crime, and then we in it together. They don't got enough. They know they have an inclination that we both did it or we did it, and then I flip on you like, man, look, I'm just gonna tell. I'm trying to get this last time.
Right.
That's the worst kind of person.
That's you're right. Well, yeah. All of them is the worst. Yeah. All of them fall in the same type of. But once you start, you on that side of the playing field, and whether you was involved in it or wasn't involved, to me, you just out of pocket.
Man, Mr. Groves, also, let's go back to him. You know, he's like in a situation now where as though he was out here for a while. He enjoyed himself, I guess, in certain ways. Other than, you know what I'm saying, he enjoyed himself a little bit out here. He probably, you know, was able to walk around and do whatever he was doing, able to travel. I'm assuming because he got all the way to Atlanta. Do you think that he feels like it was worth it?
Yeah, you goddamn right. Even if he had a week, he got life. He murdered somebody. He ain't never coming home again. Unless it's a lucky shot in the dark and an appeal. But as of now, he got the clock, which is life. A day, an hour would have been worth it to him. He got life. So he ain't looking at that as no law situation. I can see if he had 10 years, they came back and caught him and they giving him another dime. That's not worth it at all. You got 6 months out there. No, he got life. That question don't even have to be. Yeah, he felt as though that he could have had a second out there. Ran across the street, got killed, caught across the street. All right, cool. I made it over there, smelled some fresh grass or whatever the case may be. That's okay for him.
I saw one of the other guys. I forget the guy's name. He had the light-skinned brother with the braids. I saw him at like a pool party and everything. He had like all these people around him. He was like having a good time at the pool party and all this stuff. I'm like, man, he got a lot of trust in people because, you know, and then he got caught right after that. He was arrested right after that because you can't put yourself out there around too many people, man. You know, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here, man, and you just never know. Just never know. Now, in regards to Tales from the Jails, I just want to speak about this. Don't forget to become a member. You know, I want everybody to subscribe, and we appreciate everybody who is subscribed. But if you're on here in the chat, just become a member. We appreciate it. We will continue to bring live videos, you know, important guests on our show, you know, and much, much more. So don't forget to become a member.
Somebody just asked a question and said, would you forgive Umi for telling?
Yeah, I would. It just
It all depends. If Umi is knowing what I'm doing and I'm getting money and Umi is taking this money and constantly asking for money from me, because my mom is street smart. I don't know about everybody else's mom. My mom ain't a square. She not, you know, she's a good woman now. She's in her older years, but you know, by far she cuts corners and do this and that. And you know, I ain't put my mom business out there, but she's a great woman. Mm-hmm. And she knows the game. She been around the streets of Philadelphia all her life. And if she's taking part in what I'm taking part in by taking it from me and she's taking money from me and she's having a good time off the stuff, she's not trying to tell me to do different. And then when I finally do get caught and they ask her questions and she tells, I'm going to be looking at her, she out of pocket. Will I hate her? I can't probably hate mom, but I'll cut her off. I'll cut her off. Now, if my mom was one of the ones, like, she wasn't with none of that from the drive, and you know you got people with that. She, get out of my house. I done filmed this in here, and get out. And she ain't with none of that. She letting me know from the drive, and she tell when I do something, I ain't mad at mom at all. I already know where mom was standing at.
Remember that story you told? That'd be a good question for the audience. Remember the story you told about the mom snitching?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe somebody want to, because people probably ain't hear that. See if you get their opinion on that.
All right. You have, this is a hypothetical, but something that can really happen. Mm-hmm. You have a mother, right?
We need everybody to give their opinion on this. Go ahead.
You have a mother, right? And the mother is a drug queenpin of whatever, whether she from Detroit, New York, Philadelphia, California. You know, she been in the game, the drug game, 20, 30 years. She's old in it now. She done had you as a son or a daughter to the audience. And during her reign, you know, she got federal agents underneath her command. She got a whole crew of killers or whatever you may want to call it. She been reigning the streets of wherever she was from for 20 to 30 years with an iron fist. She got major connects. I'm talking about cartel connects, not no Bob up the street with a half ounce for you. No, we talking about connects. You know, and like I said, she's raising you in this. You know, she's raising you up. She's sending you to private school, but she's not one of them mothers that's wanting you to be away from. She wants you to take over the business. And you're getting indoctrinated into the family business, which is drugs and killing if somebody get in your way and all that. Y'all got cops on your payroll that's letting y'all know if y'all being investigated at the time, whatever. Okay, you get it of the age of 23, 24. And you knew about mom operations. You was at the understanding of mom operations for about the last 12 to 15 years now. Now it's time for you to suit up and take over the family business because mom is old. She's one, she want to go down to the big old house that she got down Miami or wherever she got it at in one of these other states or, countries or whatever. She's leaving you to run the family business. Okay. You've been running the family business stronger than mom now due to how she indoctrinated into you, due to how she told you not to trust rats, how to keep nothing close to you like that except your team and the ones who you got, that's rocking with you. Okay. 10, 12 years after you running this business strong, one of the agents that you got on the payroll comes to you. He say, man, something is breaking, man, something, man. They got you at the top of the list, man. They ready to indict you, man. We got a couple of the names of the people that's telling that started this indictment on you, and one of the names in particular. Okay, you ask him who the names. He like the one name that's in particular that could send you to jail for the rest of your life. It's your mother. Now you shocked. You sitting there, you like, damn, mom the one that brought me up in this game and taught me how to do this and do that and do this, and she told me to kill rats and, she's raising you to be ruthless and calculated at the same time. And you got all this in you that she's been raising you on for years. And the cops say, it's a quick fix. I can have somebody go out there and see her and, do what they do. We ain't got to worry about it no more, but it's on you. What would you do? Is you killing mom? Is you getting somebody to kill mom? Or you going to jail for life? It's just a question, man. It's a hypothetical. It's something to think about. Like, something to think about when you're dealing with jail stories, when you sit in them cells. When I sat in them cells and thought about this and conjured this up, because this is something that's not far-fetched from the truth. This is not like I found a cure for AIDS. That's like kind of like, wow, we ain't, who did somebody find a cure for AIDS? It's like, whoa, who the hell is you? This right here, this scenario that I give you is something that you can sit back and actually be like, damn, I can see this actually happening. But what would you do? Would you get mom killed? Would you kill mom yourself? Or would you forgive mom and go to jail and do life? Me, if I'm living that lifestyle, I'm going to have to go do it myself, man. I'm going to go take mom what she like with some rat poison or something in it. Like, because I'm not going to jail for life. For me being for life, and Mom, you taught me this, and y'all probably looking at me like, Black, you out of pocket, bro, you out of line. Okay, call me whatever you call me. Don't call me John Blow, John Fool, or John going to jail, though. No. If I could stop it, Mom showed me she didn't love me. Mom sent me to prison. Now, that's just me. This is just me asking y'all this question. I just want to see what y'all got to say back to it.
Yeah, for me, I just probably I can't kill my mom. I would be upset, but I would just have to go in because I'm involved. I am involved. I decided to make that decision. So I can't kill Umi, but I would try to flee. I definitely would try to do that.
So answer the question.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it now. Everybody give us y'all opinion, but we got a question from Taylor Rug. I think that's how you say that. Mm-hmm. She said, "Hey, love, from Baltimore, love the podcast, appreciate you. My question is, do the men that deal with bigger women genuinely care and love, or genuine care and love for them, or is it all talk?" I think that for me, no big. It doesn't matter how big a woman is, whether she's short, tall, no disrespect, fat, skinny, overweight, whatever it is. If you genuinely love a man and you genuinely show, that you love a man, you respect a man. This is my opinion. You respect a man, you care for a man. He's not gonna really care how you look, because at the end of the day, it's not about. Because you can have a woman who's a so-called, what they say, a baddie, mm-hmm. and she can be disrespectful, and she can have a disrespectful, crazy mouth. She can have a lot of bad characteristics. Mm-hmm. For me, I'm not sticking with that. For me, if you love me, and you can be 1,000 pounds. Just my opinion. 1,000 pounds. We're gonna work on your weight. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna work on it. If you got all it, we're gonna work on everything else. We're gonna work whatever it is. I can't change your height. I can't make you taller. I can't make you shorter. But, whatever it is, as far as your weight goes, if you are respectful, caring, loving, woman, I can deal with that all day. I'd rather take that over a disrespectful, woman who's just mistreating you. I can't deal with that. So for me, my opinion, I would appreciate you if you love me and care for me and respect me as a man. What about you?
For me, in my older years and my ages now, preference now is really not. You can't be lazy. Like everybody gain a little weight, everybody. But if I see you just sitting around and you just constantly eating and gorging and you not taking care of yourself, and then with a big girl or a big guy comes more hygiene, clean activity for you because you bigger, so you got to keep it up. Whereas though a smaller person, they might wash up once a day. A big person might got to wash up 2-3 times a day. You got a lot more stuff that you got to cover. With that being said, then you got the personality, in fact, because I don't want like you said, a person, giving you lip or giving you smack and then I already got to deal with other things that's going on with you. Mm-hmm. And you might got to deal with things going on with me as well, like, cause I might be too thin for you or something like that. So it's up to the person per se. But for me, I could deal with a big girl. Long as she show me love, man, I'm at the age where as though I ain't trying to be running around with a bunch of girls, man. I'm getting to my later years of life. Death would be upon me closer than life would. So, I done 45 years old. I done lived a nice little, hopefully I'll make it to be 100, but 2025 and stuff, the air, the food, so a big girl to me, man, I call y'all heavy Chevys. I love y'all to death. Y'all love on us, man. Y'all, and then the ones that I met, they clean, they smell good, so they know how to take proper etiquette and they hygiene, and and then they bubbly of joy. It's all about the attitude, man. But you got some dudes out here that probably don't want that. But it's up to that person, that whoever you're encountering at the time. But for me, I love my big girls, man. Big girls need love too. Skinny guys need love. Middle weight. It don't matter what. But you ask specific question about big girls. Big girls is winning right now. Like back in the day, black guys wasn't in. Dark skinned dudes wasn't in. The 80s. I like to say Morris Chestnut put us on the map. He come through and now with us dark skinned dudes killing you light skinned dudes and brown skinned dudes.
I don't know about that.
Well, but right now they want them bald, tall, and dark. Am I lying, ladies of the audience? Say that then. Yeah, so big girls, man, I would love you too.
Yeah, so like for me, you can't love and respect and genuine companionship for someone who cares about you. It doesn't matter, how they look really. For me, it doesn't matter, their size. Like I said, we can work on that stuff. Because if you really love me, I'm gonna really love you. So, and I'm gonna give it back to you, whatever. So, and we gonna be out walking around. We gonna be out. I don't care. And nobody better not say nothing about my wife. I don't care about none of that. I love you. You love me. You respect me. I'm gonna respect you, and I'm gonna treat you like a queen, in my opinion. So that's just how I feel. So let's listen. Continue to show love. Come on, Taylor. You one of them ones, and you continue to be one of them ones. Now, we got some more questions. Let's see. My channel says she did not murder the officer. Well, she was charged, I believe, with the actual act. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if she actually was the one to do. I don't know the case, to be honest. But she was charged with murder and got out.
Somebody said that you guys see the judge denied Diddy going to the Dicks. I haven't seen it, but if you know where I can find that, please send it to me, because I would like to see it. Because not saying that you telling a lie or seeing something that was incorrect, like they usually get them type of cases and them type of profile dudes the place they want to go. They don't want to have the backlash of them going to a violent institution, and unless the guy's begging to be there, like you see, Pooh Shiesty was at USP Canaan, and it's popping there. That's a big time USP, United States Penitentiary. That's one of the joints that's in United States, and you go there, you definitely get your issue handed to you if you ain't carrying it as a man. So And
shout out to Pooh Shiesty, man. We're trying to get them up on the show, man. We're working on it.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. Some people saying bye, mom. You done. Kane K said bye, mom. Now, let's see. We got a question.
Hey, hold on. Jordo, ask your question. What's up, Jordo? Shout out to Baltimore in the building. Me and Jordo did a lot of good time. What question did you ask? Well, I could ask that for you after my brother go to another question. So I'll be waiting for you to write the question down. I didn't know that was you. Shout out to Baltimore in the building. My Baltimore guys.
We got John Michael, who said that Diddy was denied Fort Dix. I haven't seen that yet. So we talked about it yesterday. Diddy was trying to get to Fort Dix because it's close. You know what I'm saying? It's close to New York. It's not that far. His family not gonna travel that far. But do you see him sending Diddy really far away?
Nah.
Yeah.
Could it happen? Yes. I could be all absolutely wrong. In the feds, man, it's a whole nother ball game. It's nothing like no state institutions. They do absolutely what they want to do. They will send you all over this country, and they will keep doing it until your sentence is up.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody just asked me, yo, Black, have you ever seen a CO that treated you bad or did you wrong while you were incarcerated now that you are free? And if not, what would you do if you do see one? Well, I've never seen one yet. And I really didn't, like the ones that did be nutty that was stupid, you had to really get in the way. I really don't see a CO pick on a person. Like go to a person and just be like, I don't like him and shake his cell down. You got to be somebody that's doing something that's annoying that CO. You making wine but always never getting caught, but they know you doing it. So now you drawing on his or her shift. So now they make you a target. I haven't seen them, like you had to be like a fighter. You making they shift hot for them so they'll dislike you. But I haven't just seen them just like dislike a dude. And if I was to get mistreated by one and seen them there, I'd just be laughing at them like, because it'll hurt them more to see me on the street than knowing that I was in that penitentiary still. Like, damn, they done let this dude go. I just like, because what I'm going to do, knock him out, slap him. The most I do if I did want to do something is cuss him out, then that might go somewhere else because they still an officer. You know, they just outside of their office site. So, with my knowledge and older wisdom, I would leave it alone.
Got a question from Sim Yola. He said, Feeking Black, why don't y'all feel like youngins don't respect the older guys? Or why don't y'all feel the youngins? Well, for me, I feel the youngins. I respect the youngins. I just think that the issue with the younger guys and the older guys is that the older guys not respecting the young guys. When I say respect, your approach could be off. Sometimes you can't speak to someone in an aggressive manner. Sometimes you got to come to them in a respectable manner. For me, I got a son. He's older. He's a teenager, and I had to learn that I got to talk to him like he's a man. Like I got to respect him, respect his boundaries, respect his space, and all these different things. Now, I got to be firm with him. But I gotta have a respect for him. I can't look at him like you better listen to me. You need to listen to me all the time because that can get old. The intimidation factor can get old because now you see a lot of these young boys, they play with them guns, man, and the guns got these switches on them and all this crazy stuff. So and they controlled by their peers. So when you're approaching these young guys, you should approach them with respect, in a manner and talking to them as if you're trying to advise them and not trying to force anything on them because. If you try to force them, you put too much pressure on them, it's going to push them away from you, and they're going to look at you like a so-called, what they say, a op. So I just think that people got to approach the youngins in a respectable manner, be inviting to them, open. You see them, give them a hug, shake their hand, ask them how they doing. Don't always come off like, y'all got to stop doing what y'all doing. That's not always the remedy. Sometimes you just got to speak to them, I got my nephews with me now. My nephew's here with me now, and I try to talk to them in a manner as if they are men, because they are men. But I try to talk to them in a respectful manner, and I expect the same thing from them. We're not gonna always agree about everything. I'm not gonna always agree with him everything, but we have I'll say a positive argument. You know what I'm saying? Argument doesn't cross the lines of disrespect. It may be a back and forth. We're talking about it, in my opinion, and he gives his opinion. They give their opinions, so on, and we just figure out how we can move forward together. But you can't force something onto these youngins and talk to them like I've been to jail or I've been shot. They ain't really trying to hear that. You got to try to find a different approach. Like talking to them like you could just walk up to somebody. This is a simple thing that I use. If I see something, if I look at a young guy, I look at him. They can have a Pooh Shiesty mask on. They can have a Nike Tech suit on. They can have whatever on. The first thing I do, I look at their appearance, and I find something that I like about what they got on, and I talk about that. Like, that'd be my approach. If I see them in a car or something, I just start a conversation with something that they have because it's something that they may like. So the conversation can be built from there. You don't just approach them like take that mask off, take this all black off, and they don't really want to hear that. So you approach them in the mirror, something that they have on. This is just something that I use, and it works. it works. And now you can talk about anything from there. So now we started out over here with something they like, and now I'm going to go over here and give them a jewel if I can. You know what I mean? That's just my advice in the way that I move.
Well, with me, I'm kind of reluctant, man. These young boys is out their goddamn mind, man. And I still go around older. I'm not saying that you don't go around the young boys like I do, but I feel as though that I probably would be around them more so than you because of the business adventures that you're on that limits you from having free time to do that. And you know me, I have ventures, but not as much as you, so I have a little bit more free time on my hands. And I might stop through little restaurants around our way, or might just see one of the guys in traffic. But the young guys nowadays, and I want to be more specific and break it down further. This generation and the generations coming after them, like, so much is changing. Like, remember we had, like, you know, when the last time you seen the kids, man, between the ages of 8 and 20 now, like, write a letter? Like, people pen them shit. Like, we used to grow up in school and write. Like, everything is on computer. Like, everything is changing, man. Yeah. When you take things there and be like, just really think about it, y'all. Like, this newer generation, like, they even do homework in composition books no more and write the equation. Everything is done. Like, they don't even really know how to write cursive now. Mm-hmm. Remember, cursive was your penmanship. Yeah. Who you see writing a cursive letter? Everything is changing, man. It's changing.
But is that their fault, though?
No. It's the environment around them fault. Everything is being modernized. And why do you have to leave certain things in the past to become this? Mm-hmm. So with that, more changes is going to come. Like with listening and knowing how other things are supposed to go, and that it just don't go the way it is. So I'll be a little bit more reluctant. Like, I got to see and observe the young individual, because you got some I done ran into some hard-headed individuals that think they know more than me. And once I see that, I don't even try to combat that and correct them, because I see I was like that at once. So sometimes life is the best teacher itself. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get through to everybody. We're not going to get through to all the youngins on this podcast. I don't care. We can sit up here and talk to our faces blue. You have to touch that pot to see if it's hot. You know how people like, don't touch that pot, I tell you, and you ain't got to touch it because somebody told you. No, you got to actually, they was right. They were telling the goddamn truth. You have to go through that fire. Hopefully it ain't the fire that you can ultimately be finished from, with though it's life in prison or dead. But sometimes a person have to go do 10 years. And like, wow. It got to take a person to walk that. A lot of people can't take the verbal of what we giving up now and the stories of what we've been through, and that don't work for majority of the mass. I know it didn't work for me. I know it would work for me. It's touching that pot. I'm sitting here a firm believer, ready to stand on society as a law-abiding citizen. Why? Because I went through, and not because of what a person told me. Sometimes you just got to travel that road, and that's just it. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I just would encourage people to just try to be. Just think about it though. When we was young, we running the streets doing whatever we was doing. We wasn't really trying to hear nothing nobody was saying. But I just think our overall agenda at the time, not saying that it was right, our agenda was more so about making money. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about. I just see a lot of these senseless crimes and senseless shootings, and even it's not justifying it, but it's not. Even if it was about money, it's not worth anything. But it's just not worth. It's not about nothing really. But for me, that's just how I look at it. They look at it in a different way. They look at it like how they look at it. But it's for them to realize it. Like I realized that, even though I was trying to make money in the wrong manner, whatever I was doing, it still wasn't right. I realize that now. But they got to go through that and realize that what they're doing is wrong. And I think that they'll realize that at some point. Hopefully, it's before they end up in the grave or in prison. But it's still, our job. Our job is there. Big brothers, uncles, cousins, whatever we are in the community to these guys. They old heads, OG, whatever they call us when they see us. It's still upon us to, if you see somebody out of pocket or see somebody going down the wrong path, just try to talk to them. Try to give them some advice if you can. Just try to speak to them. Give them some wise words. It could just be something, like I said, just talk to them about something that they like, whatever it may be, as long as it doesn't change you or change what's in your heart. So I would just advise everybody to have just a conversation, some good words for them, motivation.
Now I want to touch on something right, Tawfiq, man. I want to bring something up about, being in jail. And, every day I'm going to add that to what we were talking about. Just something that in jail that kind of like blew me that I want to, give to the guys that was in jail or the people that wasn't in jail that need to know about this that I can't kind of get on board with. And that is, the federal system in the state, I think the state took it out too, used to have smoking privileges, right? You was allowed to go buy you tobacco. In the feds, you was allowed to buy 2 cartons of cigarettes. This was the max in 1 week. 2 cartons of cigarettes and were like 4 packs of Black and Milds. Dudes was buying them. You had dudes that wasn't smoking that was buying them because, dudes will run out during the week and they'll sell that to them, Okay, they took the smoking out the system in what? 05, 06, somewhere around that. Shaq, Big Shaq, let me know. Jordo, let me know when they took it out the system. Go ahead, text and join and let me know when they took, but they took it out before 2010, the cigarettes. So after they took the cigarettes out the system, the cigarettes were still in the yard for about 2 more years. Why? Because they put up a memorandum letting the population know, all the convicts, like such and such date will be the last day we're selling cigarettes in the federal system.
Okay.
So yeah, they was so dudes was going over there copping up. Dudes was putting money on like 8, because it was only a limit you could buy a week. So dudes was putting money on like 8 different dudes' books besides theirs to acquire cigarettes for like 2 months straight up until that date that came. It was the cutoff time for selling cigarettes. Okay, boom. After that, after the date came of them stopping cigarettes in the federal system, they gave like another grace period. The system did, the officials, and sent another memorandum within the next 6 months or to a year. If I'm correct me if I'm right, if I need correcting, y'all, but I'm right, I'm on the track. That cigarettes will become contraband a year after the day that they stop selling them. Do you follow me, Tawfiq?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So after the day they stopped selling them, they wasn't contraband for a whole year after the day they got, because they know people still got cigarettes. So they basically saying, we're giving y'all a year to get it all out the way. After that, if we find you with a cigarette, it will be a write-up.
Okay.
It will be something that you can't do in jail. Okay, we went through this whole stage, this whole process, and it was cigarettes on yards for 2-3 years. That's how many cigarettes dudes was buying, like before they stopped selling cigarettes. Like dudes will load up 10, 15 people books and they will go to the store. After these 15 people, so you had one dude that had like 50 cartons, they hiding them down Unicore, hiding them outside in the rec yard, digging holes and wrapping them up real good with plastic and burying cartons of cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? So, you had cigarettes still on deck for about 3 years after they stopped selling them. Okay. Now, after that all dwindled up and dried up, cigarettes weren't coming in jail unless you had a visitor that was willing to smuggle you with some balloons of cigarettes or with everything else they was getting in. Now, the next best thing was the Indian hut. For dudes that been to the feds, they know that the Indian have a religious, they have a, like how we Muslim, how you have Christians, how you have, the Indians have their own little religion group. And the administration will allow them to get into like a hot, they used to make, they had something for the Indians, like a little side portion to where as though they heated up rocks, they made like a tent, a sweat tent. So the Indians,
like a sauna?
Yeah, the Indians would be in there with like their little drawers on. It'd be like, they'll put the, and I'm talking about, you couldn't see, it was like they made it with sticks and weeds and like it was a cold, and then in the middle of it, inside of it, would be all these rocks that they just had on fire for like hours, so the rocks would be red. So it was like a tent, and you be in there sweating.
You was in it?
No, because I'm not Indian. No, I wasn't in
So
there.
how you doing?
Yeah, you see it. You walking up and down when you go in the child, when you go in the rec yard, it's right there in a secluded area for only the Indians.
All right, just making sure you wasn't in there.
Then they was giving them,
Go ahead.
They was giving them like some type of tobacco through the chaplain. But it was a tobacco where though it didn't have nicotine in it. It was like grained leaves that they'd sit there and smoke on. But the Indians would steal it, because it was only for them to smoke it down there. They would steal it and bring it back to the compound and sell it to dudes who smoke cigarettes or whatever. And I smoked that before, because I smoked cigarettes.
Dizzy?
So yeah, it'd get you like a little rush real fast. And it'd be like, dang, what the hell? It give you a little rush. There's a lot of people done smoked it, and y'all got to be real with yourselves, okay? Now, that right there, I eventually stopped smoking that because it didn't do nothing for you. Like, you just smoke it and you smell like burnt wood. You know what I'm saying? It was like leaves and like branches and shit that
like
was grinded up. Like a beanie, exactly. It was justly like that, exactly. Now, the next thing that dudes start smoking in there that was common that I kind of frowned my whole face upside down on. Enjoy though. Big Shaq, T.Y., all y'all know what I'm talking about. To the federal convicts, stand up that's out here living life and being law-abiding citizens. Was the guards that worked on the compound, because they weren't allowed to. You had some guards that been there on the compound for years that been guards. So guards weren't allowed to smoke cigarettes, but they'll still buck and be out there. They'll go outside the unit, smoke one, and throw it. And that's a brotherhood in there, the COs. They ain't telling on each other to the warden, all of them, yo, CO John down there smoking. So the older guards will be smoking. But a lot of them transferred to chewing tobacco. And y'all know where I'm going at with this.
Yeah, I heard about this. Go ahead.
A lot of them transferred to chewing tobacco. And, the guards would be sitting there all day long spitting inside like an empty water bottle or empty soda bottle and all the gook or whatever from the, excess tobacco juices or whatever. And then after they was, whether it was a half hour, 20 minutes that they had gnawed on this to get all the nicotine from the chewing, they would discharge it either in a napkin or probably on the side of the unit, a whole glob, and dudes would be waiting around and pray. As soon as that guard discharged that from his mouth, it'd be like flies on shit. They will fly over there and get that glob and put it inside a little napkin and dry it out. It was even to the point to where those dudes was getting knocked out for putting it inside the microwave to dry it out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Comment in the comments. We gonna be real. Dudes was putting this inside the microwave. Dude will take a glob that this police done spit out. Or the police might just spit it in a bottle and they got hot trash, police trash, because the police trash is different from our trash because they bringing little stuff from the street like soda bottle, like we don't got that in there. So hot trash, this goes to a special location where the inmates but the dudes that work it, they go through it all because it's the guards' trash, so it's like treasures. If that makes sense for the convict to be going through he threw he threw his empty can of chew away, but it was still some in the corner. You know what I'm saying? But it was empty. Yeah. But to us, that was full. You know what I'm saying? Now, I have smoked some fresh chew, some dried out chew, but I haven't smoked the chew that was discharged from the mouth after it was done from his juices. But a lot of men did it. I'm going ahead and tell the stories. This is Tales from Jails, and I'm telling the goddamn stories. You sitting there talking about some damn black pudding all. Yes, I am. And they was doing that, man, and I still cringe my face at that today, man. But you was putting it in the microwaves to dry it out. It's just something it's just one of them things that I just brought up that I just was thinking about. Like, dang, man, the stuff that we go through inside the belly of the beast, man. I even went as far as seeing dudes have dried up banana peels in the hole. Or orange pills, and break that down to its finest thing they can break it down to, and put it inside a little Bible paper, little Quran paper, and this is the stuff that they was using.
What, using the Quran paper?
Yes, like because you don't have no rolling paper.
Wow. So
they using the thinnest paper they can find. You know what I'm saying? And this is all they got, and dudes was using it. Maybe I didn't use it once or twice. Subhanallah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making myself exempt from it either. I've been in there 21 years, so I did a lot of things that I look back on and be like, damn, I had to survive. I was in the belly of the beast. So, man, that was a lot of guys I know that's home now, but look back on them days that was indulgent such as I was, and look back and be like, damn, you'll be ashamed of yourself. Like, damn, man. Because we came in with addictions. I was smoking cigarettes all my life. You know me all my life. That's something I just wanted to talk about with the guys and bring up, man, like, damn, man. That's the tobacco life.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's a crazy. I mean, you told me that, I was like, wow, because you just never know. Like, that's why prison. It seems like it's a place where.
But Jordan crazy. He said I ain't never smoked that. I'll trip off that Keisha first. And for people that don't know what that Keisha is,
K2.
That's that K2. Shout out to Baltimore, Jordan. I trip off that Keisha first.
Yeah, that K2, man, is something serious. Yo, that K2 is like, yo, when did K2 come out? When did it hit the scene? Like, when
I first went to the feds, it wasn't there. In 2001, it wasn't no K2 around at all. That came like later on in the bid about that, like, and it's a what they call a pandemic or epidemic. It's an epidemic, man. Like they're that is a real bad joint, man. And I never smoked none of that ever because certain drugs I look at and be like, yeah, man, I know I just can't take that. Something bad is going to happen to me upon using this. And I don't knock the people that do use it to escape their little temporarily imprisonment from that. But I just can't see how you go out, you throw up, you think wires is coming out of you. I seen so many dudes have skits out, walk around like orangutans and actually come up to you and bite you. And actually walk up on you like, ooh, and bite you. I'm talking about a bite that a chunk coming, not no little nibble. And he's really out his mind off the K2 at the time. So, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. James LaFlame, he says, what's your advice for somebody that's on the run? They never been to jail and don't know what to expect, but have heard about it. I never been.
What was the question again?
He said he was like basically, what's your advice for somebody that's on the run? They've never been on a run. They've never been to jail and don't know what to expect.
Man, listen, man. It all depends. You want to run, man. If it's something petty, I would tell you go ahead and turn yourself in, man, because it's not fun being on the run. I've been on the run numerous times, man. Been on the run for homicides, man. Been on the run for drug cases, man. And it's a stress. It's very stressful. Like, you be relieved. When I got caught all them times, I'll be like, I'm gonna go ahead and get this over with now. It's very stressful. You could come out only at night. Then it all depends on how bad they want you. Now, if you on a lightweight run, like they'll just catch you whenever they bump into you. That's one thing. Or if they on your line, no, they trying to bump into you. That's a stressful situation, man. And if it's for something minute, man, go ahead and get that out the way, man, because people will start turning their backs on you, man. And not even turning, but it's just life. It's just life. Like, don't nobody got time to be babysitting no grown man that the police is looking for. Don't nobody gonna be pitting you in their house and having you hide out. They got kids in there that don't nobody want that around, man. Dudes, they gotta ride a certain way with you. You gotta turn this way. Don't go through this type of traffic because the cops. People don't want to go through. They not on the run, so your life is gonna becoming a walking hell. So I would recommend if it doesn't warrant a whole bunch of time that person is on the run for is facing, I would recommend that he go ahead and get that shit over with, man. Yeah. Just get it over with, man. Get done with it. You shouldn't have committed the crime if you couldn't do the goddamn time. And that's just it. I ain't gonna sit here and appease no grown ass man and say, damn, man, no, go ahead and get it over with and start over, man.
Somebody named J Money said, ask Black how he reacted when Spider-Man called him with the calculator phone.
I was shocked out my goddamn mind. Why you telling me to ask these stories, Jordan? You sitting there acting crazy. I wish we had Jamal on right now. I couldn't believe it. Man, Spider-Man came up the back of them steps, man. Listen, man, I'm sitting there and the phone was like the size of my palm. I actually could have got away, but Spider-Man ain't no fool. And Jamar told me it was a Jumu'ah Friday. That was, first of all, my whole day was in disarray because I wasn't even in a gussa to go to Jumu'ah or nothing. I wanted to get on the phone and chase that girl. And knowing I wasn't supposed to be on no phone at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that was a no-no. I still went because I thought I was Big Bri. Went and pulled that phone out, man. And when I looked to the crack of the door and seen that blue, the uniform of the blue, and how he split, that's why he's called Spider-Man. Because you don't hear him coming, and he can squeeze in little spots that you hide the phone at that you think he ain't going in to get it. He going to get it. He going to get it. One thing about Spider-Man, he ain't locking you up. He got to catch you with it. Spider-Man, think about Spider-Man coming. He turn in your room, and you got it right there on the floor in front of him. He'll pick it up and be like, I'm going to catch you. I'm going to get you. He ain't going to give it to you. He want it on you. He want to catch it in your pocket. Spider-Man ain't doing no faking. None. He is one of them cops that chase you till you breathless. Yeah, he got a death wish, and that's just it. But he came in the cell on me, man, and I'm still got my head down, and I'm typing in this little, and it's a calculator phone. It looks just like a baby calculator. It's in the form of a calculator. It images a calculator, a small calculator. It looks just like a calculator. So he was like, give me the phone. Put it in my hand. So I'm already like, damn, I got it, boy. That's how small it is. I'm like, man, I put it in his phone. I'm in his hand. He like, man, give me the phone. He didn't even know what it was. He thought it was a calculator. He thinking I'm still hiding the phone somewhere. Joe don't know the story. You acting crazy. You just want the men to know. But yeah, I'm like, man, that's the phone right there. And then other people was mad at me. Other people that got that. as a phone. Because that wasn't the only one on the yard. So people like, damn, man, you get. So now they hip like, damn, y'all got this. They was when they had me in the office, they was like, where you get a phone from? Because I could leave it on the desk. Police come and shake down the cell. They would never touch that because we buy calculators on commissary.
Yeah.
It's a calculator.
Somebody made that, or
No, it's a form of not a pharmacy, but a company that sell them like that. They got calculator telephones.
oh wow,
You know what I'm saying? It got the little screen, all the plus, the addition, and all the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the dial pad. It's a calculator. You sit there, and if you ain't know about this brand of phones, you would think it's a calculator. I'm talking about it's small.
Wow.
Little crazy as hell, man.
Wow. Hey, listen, we're gonna take another 5 minutes for questions and answers, man. So any questions y'all got, let's get it. And also, don't be afraid to make donations. You know, I always say it's like my guy Otis Ryder said. You know, show support to keep us out of court. You know.
Yeah, I was supposed to be at Juma. That's why I got caught up there. You mean dealing with this other stuff.
Don't forget to become a member. It's 74 people plus in here. Come on, let's get some memberships going, man. We appreciate the support.
Support me, man. The membership is only $6 a month, man. You say you rock with us, man. We gonna keep bringing you, you know what I'm saying, this real, man, this awareness, man, this man stuff, man. $6 a month, that equates to what? $1.20 a week? $1.50 a week, man. I ain't worth that. All the men, come on, man. We homies, man. So we say we was. We out here now. Let's support each other, man. Whoever got the ball right now, man, let's support whoever got the ball and keep the ball pushing. These are stories. These are not just my stories. These are. I'm telling these stories for me, for the men that don't have the platform to tell them, and for us to reach the masses that may be going where we came from. Man, put on for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Any questions? I want to say, listen, if it's anybody who is, on their way to prison, that y'all know anybody that's on their way to prison, anybody who is in prison, anybody on their way coming home from prison, they may need some assistance, may need some consultation. Go to talesfromthejail.com. That's talesfromthejail.com. talesfromthejail.com. Go there, book your consultation today. We'll be able to assist you. You may have some things going on. We can help you out. talesfromthejail.com.
See, a lot of people want to hear your story too, Feek. What's the name just hit me, man, and said, because they know you was a part of a gang membership, I should say, at the time back in Jahiliyyah, which is ignorant days. And when I say gang member, you was a gang member of mine and a couple other good men of our brotherhood, which we still hold and live a law-abiding citizen life to this day. And we have a tight brotherhood. But they want to know, like, well, damn. The question was to you, they want to know what as Tawfiq, what was the moment in his life that happened that made him stop hustling and can possibly be there where y'all was at? Because they know you was hustling good, as you was. But you got some that get it and some get acquitted. And this man is doing great. I'm inspired by him every day. And this is Tawfiq every day. He was good at the business life, alhamdulillah, and he was good in the haram, which was selling that dope. He was selling in 90 going like Domino's Pizza. Alhamdulillah, he got out of that. But the man want to know what ultimately brought you to a stand. And because I asked you that before. That's the question I asked you. I came to you and was like, damn, bro, I done watched you work, bro. And you went cold. They probably want to know about how you was laying on, like, how to transition till you get to Tawfiq right now, to be on this podcast with us right now.
So for me, what maybe changed my life, honestly, was Islam. I started practicing Islam. I was trying to get myself together because I had a family. I started, trying to, strive and do the right things. But there was some things that I was doing that could have led me to prison. Like the story, everybody may have heard. The night that he got caught by the police, we was in our neighborhood, and I tried to wake him up and get him to go out, leave with me, because we living together. We close knit, living together. This is my guy, and I tried to get him to leave the house, but he was chasing behind somebody. He was doing something, like, he got a hard head. So I'm like, yo, come on, we out. He like, no. So I left, went to go take care of something, came back. This was probably like maybe like 12, 1 in the morning. I came back. I'm like, yo, I'm about to leave. We out. He like, nah, man, go ahead. So I said, all right. So I leave. And then ultimately the next day, I I was getting the call or the chirp on the Nextel that the police had arrested him and raided the place where he was at. But ultimately, for me, I'm not without exposing a lot of things. And yes, I did do some things wrong, a lot of things wrong in my life. And like I said, for me, Islam helped me change and helped me do the right thing. Now, it wasn't an easy transition. And I always tell people all the time, the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life, the hardest thing that I ever had to do in my life was for me to try to get my life on track. Because you come from a place, you come from, streets where you're doing things where you're making, I can't even put a number on certain type of things that you're making in the streets, but you're making, you're living a certain lifestyle, living a certain way. And, to change and try to find, yourself, because I felt like it was like so much stuff falling apart with me. Even though you could be successful in doing something that's wrong, it's so many things that could be going wrong on this side that, and you trying to figure it out why things are wrong, why things aren't the way they're supposed to be. But ultimately it's because, your relationship with God. And that was for me. And then I just decided to change. And then, like I said, it was hard. It was hard, man. You started losing things. Everything that I may have had from the streets or whatever I had is gone. It's gone. I mean, take it from me. Only thing I had was my freedom and my family that was left, and my guys. A few of my guys was in jail. People was getting killed and so forth and so on. And, now I switched it, and now I try my best, by the grace of Allah to provide a platform and an opportunity for my guys that surround me, by opening businesses. As you see, we have Tales from the Jails. We have TBISC, the best in sports entertainment. So don't forget to check that out and follow them on Instagram as well. A lot of different things that we're doing, and it's all, inshallah, it's all halal, and it's all off of pure hustle. Like I said, I want to say something too. A lot of guys that have been in the streets, and a lot of guys who are in prison, or guys who have been doing the wrong thing, we the best hustlers. I know guys that have been in the streets, man, and it's twisted and been the best hustlers, the best workers, whatever. So for me, if you in the streets and you have an operation running, it may be a wrong type of business, but if you can just fix a few things, make it legal, like get an LLC, start getting your insurances and things in place, and and do things the right way, you can be successful too. A lot of times we feel like we can't change, you know what I'm saying? But you can, and then you'll find yourself finding people around you that are, that have the abilities that you have, and then once you put your team together, it just forms. Like all my guys is around me, by the grace of Allah, everybody opening up businesses. We're building something big, inshallah, by the grace of Allah, and hopefully, inshallah, we'll be able to see it come to fruition. But, it's about empowering those around you. And a lot of times people fear the person around you getting more money than you. I ain't like that. If he's rich, if he got 10 million and I got 100,000, I'm happy with that. And I'm pretty sure he feel the same way. Because I know if he got it, I got it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who have more money around you. Just make sure that everybody around you is eating in a certain way. Everybody got something going on, and you're building it. And another thing that you learn, I don't want to hold everybody too long, is you got to have patience. Businesses don't pop off quick. We so used to fast money, and so so much. We so used to getting money fast, and making 100,000 fast. You making $1 million fast. No, you can't make that fast in doing the legal things. It takes time. Now it can grow. It can go there. Ask me how I know. But you just have to, put the work in. You have to put the work in, man, and trust, the process. Like they say, like the Sixers, you got to trust the process, man. And that's just what I say now. We do have some books coming out, with our story in it, because we come from a place in West Philadelphia, Brooklyn Street, and we've been around so much in our lives, and he did 21 years plus, and my other guys did 21 years. Mo Easy, and Chew, they did a lot of time, and now these guys are home, and we building, man, we building. So, it's a beautiful thing, and just stay tuned. And you see what we're doing with Tales from the Jails, and we appreciate the support. And that's all I got to say about that. But I can give some more, but it will be some things coming out where you guys can get the full story from us.
I want to show my appreciation for everybody that's supporting us and following us, man, today. You know, I love you guys. I want to give a special shout out to Taylor Rogue and to Jen Baby, and you know why I'm saying that. You know, we appreciate all types of support, man. Just you logging on, whatever you can contribute to the cause of us becoming better for y'all and for ourselves, I appreciate it. But I want to answer a couple questions that just got asked. One is by Robert Holmes. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say this is my co-defendant.
Jim Baby, thank you. Shout out to Jim Baby. I'm sorry, I want to cut you off, but Jim
That's
Baby.
why I just gave it a shout out.
Oh, okay, I ain't hear that.
Yeah, that's why I said I want to give special shout out to Taylor Rogue and Jen Baby.
Yeah.
That's why I said them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not to downplay nobody else.
Yeah.
But it was just to give them their flowers.
Appreciate y'all.
Y'all know what y'all did. Appreciate y'all. But I think Robert Holmes is my co-defendant. You know, I ain't gonna say his name, but he asked the question. He said, does being a small male matter in prison? And if this is my co-defendant, he is a small male in slight stature, but he knocks stuff out at an alarming rate, you know. So to answer that question, hell no. The small guys is usually the feistiest guys, the first ones that get it popping and get the whole group in a world of mess. Not to say that it ain't supposed to happen, but yes, smaller guys be getting it. Just because you small don't mean a damn thing. They be the ones that'll sock you before you even know it. Yeah. But another question was from Uncle Weedy. Black, did you look out for dudes who was good dudes, but they were soft when they were locked? Yes. At first, I had to come to terms and grow up in prison because I was young, and if you was soft and being though, just because you didn't tell don't mean you wasn't soft. You ain't soft. Because, you know, a lot of dudes don't walk around with that gorilla suit on. They to themselves, they quiet. And if you want to call that soft, cool. But I took that as a slight back in my day. Back in the day, we had an issue that was going up Raybrook. And a couple guys like Big Shaq and all of them will know what happened up there. But we was beefing with the Mexicans. The Philly dudes and the Mexicans was beefing. And we had a homie. I forgot this particular homie. And he was a good homie. He minded his business. His paperwork was good. He didn't tell on nobody. But he just wasn't with the rah-rah shit. He wasn't with the rumbling and all that, but he would give us intel that we needed. So as the Philly guys is going to the gym to meet up with the Mexicans to either fight the problem out or talk the problem out, the homie that I'm mentioning at the time that you would say he didn't have no heart, but that was just his character. I don't even like to use the word soft, but he just wasn't on what we wasn't on. He wasn't going down there to fight them dudes with us. But as we was going down, he was coming around the bend, and he gave us some intel that we needed. He said, look, they around the bend, they waiting for y'all on another group of them over there with y'all, but I'm going to go back to the unit, though. But I took that at the time in my younger years, like, this nigga a cold-blooded coward. But as I got older, he may have saved my life because me thinking that he riding for me and he got my back, I might have turned my back on the enemy because I see him right there to fight off another enemy, but got slayed because he really punt faking. He removed himself from the situation and gave us some intel that we needed to help get a victory in this, war, jailhouse warfare. So now in my older years, he's not like soft dudes. Yes, I look out for soft dudes or whatever you want to call them. Like, that's their character. Everybody ain't. I like a dude to come. I don't want to be that. I was forced to be that. But yes, soft dude come through, he ain't do no telling, he ain't sucking no wee or whatever the case may be. Yeah, holler at me, what you need. If I got it, man, we all in here together. And if you 066, not even if you just 066, you could be Baltimore, New York, you a man and we got to meet each other. Yeah, I'm hitting your hand, regardless of how you carried and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, we got to, we got to go, but I really thank everybody for tuning in and I really appreciate everybody supporting us that's been a part of what we got going on. Once again, 6 p.m. today, you got Christopher Willers, I'm sorry, you got Christopher Willers, who's going to be on Tales from the Jails.
Christopher Life Willers.
Yes, he's going to be on Tales from the Jails today. A very, very informative episode. It's going to give you a lot of insight to his story and what he's doing now. So don't forget to tune in. I know we got the Phillies playing tonight. We down 2-1 for everybody. Let's go Phillies. And then we got the Eagles later on tonight. So we're going to kind of try to line it up. So whereas though we have, a win by the Phillies and a win by the Eagles. And also, don't forget to tune into TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. I got this guy on here talking about sports on there with me. We're talking about sports. So don't forget TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. And anything else you want to add before we go?
Oh, there's 2 more questions I want to add.
Okay, go ahead.
One guy said, "What's your favorite thing you made to eat while you was in prison, Black?" Fried rice. I became a fried rice king.
You was a fried rice king before you went in.
Man, I can
Remember we used to get the 4 wings,
shrimp fried rice.
Yeah, put the hot mustard.
The hot mustard on there with the soy sauce in my rice.
And mix it up.
Man, I became making fried rice so good that I wasn't even making it with water no more. I would pour a Pepsi on there. You pour the olive oil on there, and then you let that sit for 4 minutes in the microwave. But you got to keep taking it out every minute and spinning it because you gotta use a bowl. You can't use a regular plastic bowl. You'll burn a hole in your bowl trying to make fried rice. So you gotta keep monitoring. Every 40 seconds you take it out and you spin it. I started making it with Pepsi. Ooh, that thing was popping. Super popping. My hand on a fried rice tip, can't nobody get my business. That was my best joint. And
Ravens. Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Who? That's Jordo that said that?
Yeah.
Jordo, them Ravens is out of line.
Y'all like, what, they 1-4 now?
Lamar can go in. Marvelous. Not for him this year.
Too marvelous.
Too marvelous. Marvelous.
Too marvelous.
Marvelous then turned to too marvelous. Yeah, man. So there was another other question that I seen that I wanted to answer real fast. Counterpunch keep concealing. Yeah, I tell my bad deeds because it's bad deeds. What it is, it's old bad deeds, and there's no excuse for it. But I want people to know the experience of my life, and that got me into the situations that they got me in. Now moving forward, if I make a little bit, I'm not gonna. But I'm gonna tell about all this prison warfare and stuff that I did when I was in there that I thought I was sick. Thought I was slick. I'm gonna continue to tell that.
Yeah. I'm gonna conceal mines though. I'm gonna, to the best of my ability. But to each his own. But I'm gonna conceal mines. Now, I wouldn't go out here exposing your sins, and just putting your stuff out there, like putting yourself out there like that, like or whatever you're doing. But it's always good to conceal as much as you can. Yeah, but that's it for me. I thank everybody, yo. I thank everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate the support because a lot of times people don't know what's going on behind these walls, and then it's hard when you come home. You have no support. Nobody understands your story. It's hard to get a job. All these different things, and we're gonna be, formulating a plan to help everybody in the prison system, and everybody coming home.
That's the plan.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it for today, man. Tune in for tomorrow, man. See what the next topic is.
Don't forget to become a member. We appreciate it. It's Tales from the Jails. We out.